Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Will Ferrell's musical Spirited opens in theaters today. You might want to wait a week and watch it on Apple TV+. The Hollywood Reporter reviewed it. Spoilers coming up, and they wrote, Will Ferrell's signature comedy style is halfway between obnoxious and endearing, a naive man-child whose excitable energy is matched by his fearless disregard for dignity. Anybody who's been missing that persona should find something to enjoy in Spirited. But is the movie any good, they ask. And then they answer, I think you could tell where this is going. This is a movie musical made by filmmakers who seem to have no idea how a movie musical works. That's not good. The songs seldom sprout organically from the narrative, more often feeling shoehorned in to dial up the excitement. The production numbers are such frantic eyesores, it's easy to imagine viewers hitting fast forward when the movie lands on Apple TV Plus November 18th. And also because those infernal musical interludes push what should be a brisk comedy over the 2-hour mark. Ouch. Chris Redd spoke to the Last Laugh podcast about leaving Saturday Night Live and said it was either going to be after this season or before this season. There's a lot of things I want to do and have some of my life back. So I thought it was better for my growth to do that. These projects will reveal themselves soon, and I think it'll make a lot more sense to a lot of people why I left. That's all I'll say for now. As for SNL, he said, it's dream work, and I did have a lot of fun, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was my dream, because I feel like it takes away from the people who were really dreaming about this when they were kids. You know what I'm saying? If I'd never got it, I wouldn't be down about that. He added that he loved working on his special because, among other things, no one can cut you for time. Wow. Dave Chappelle hosts Saturday Night Live tomorrow night. The Last Laugh had previously spoken with Roy Wood. Roy talked about Trevor leaving The Daily Show and said, I'm not shocked that it happened. I think it's more about the way he went about it. At the end of the day, as a comedian, I completely understand it. He's a traveler. He's a philosopher. Any late night share, any show can be a bit of a box if you want to go and do these other things. And it's The Daily Show. It's not like Conan, where Conan could just say, screw it, I'm going to Germany. The Daily Show is The Daily Show. That car is the car. It's not really much you can do to change it. If you want to drive a truck, sorry, The Daily Show's a car. You can put a spoiler on it. You can make it a convertible, but you're not going to be able to completely change the chassis and the functionality of the vehicle creatively to the degree that I think Trevor Noah needed. And so, I think that was probably the right thing for him to do, because otherwise you're just sitting and you're bored and you look like one of those animals in the zoo that shouldn't be locked up like that. Will Roy Wood Jr. stay on if he is not selected as the host? And he said, it would depend on the host. It would depend on the creative direction of the show. What are you trying to do? How do I fit into that? And does the creative direction fit my comedic skill sets and give me an opportunity to show who I am? Because I think the thing that I've always been appreciative in the 7 years I've been on The Daily Show is I've been able to do segments and pieces that match my real-life ideologies and my real-life curiosities. I've never been told no when it was a weird thing that you might not think is humor. So I'd want to make sure that whatever I'm doing on TV, and this is Daily Show and beyond, I want to make sure it's something that equates to the things I find funny and the things I'm curious about. The Hollywood Reporter asked Jordan Klepper about Trevor Noah leaving The Daily Show. How did you take the news, Jordan? Jordan said, I was surprised to hear that Trevor was stepping down, but I've talked with Trevor before, and this is a really tough, hard job. I think he's been here for 7 incredible years, so as bummed as I was to hear that he was going to move on, I was ecstatic for him that he can find a little bit of peace and happiness and continue to expand. I don't know what he's going to do than other probably 400 arena shows a year. I mean, he's an insane person that he's constantly off doing 4 other jobs. So there's part of me that was just relieved, that was like, leave some other jobs for other people, Trevor. You've already been doing so many. I love Trevor, and it's sad he's not going to be at The Daily Show for that much longer, but so much joy for what he's brought to the show and for what he's going to do. Well, Jordan, you've been with 2 Daily Show hosts now. You could be working for a third. What do you think it's going to be like? I think watching Trevor come in, there were big shoes to fill. He had to find what his voice was within The Daily Show and also be responsive to what's happening in the world around him. I never saw him sweat, which was remarkable from my perspective. Looking forward, I think it's important The Daily Show understands its piece culturally. It's been around for decades now. I feel honored to be part of it, but I also feel amped up to attack what's happening next. I see the role of The Daily Show becoming only more and more important culturally because we need something that can be responsive to the news, that can speak with authority of the world around it, that can have a history with the audience, and hopefully that clarity and that humor can help us navigate what could be some choppy waters. Let's take a look at tonight's New York Comedy Festival lineup on this awful website that newyorkcomedyfestival.com/schedule/has. Guys, put a grid up, will ya? John Mulaney is at Belmont Park's UBS Arena tonight. If you're not familiar with the geography of New York City, that's just about as far as you can be from Midtown Manhattan while still technically being... Actually, Belmont Park, I think, is 10 feet outside New York City. Maybe the arena is technically on the border, but you're on the Queens-Nassau border there. Anyway, part of the New York Comedy Festival, I guess, but it's John Mulaney. You'll go. We Wear Pink at the New York Comedy Club. Old Man Hustles at the Brooklyn Comedy Club. Miss Pat's at Caroline's. Bassem Youssef is at the BMCC Tribeca Performing Arts Center. JB Smoove is at Town Hall, hopefully not yelling at me to gamble at a casino. I can't stand those commercials. Branded Silks at the Brooklyn Comedy Collective. Baby Gay with Zach Teague and Drew Lausch at Chelsea. Diversity Hire at QED. Conan's at the Beacon. Bit Heavy at the Brooklyn Comedy Collective. Luke Monis is recording his album at the Gutter. Chad Daniels at Gotham. Beth Stelling at the Bell House. A table read for Race the Movie, The Plays at Stand Up New York again. Jordan Temple presents Sweet Lorraine at Union Hall. Robbie Hoffman and Friends at Littlefield. Midnight Theater has the Midnight Theater Comedy Takeover. The Stonewall Inn has Stonewall Comedy Queens. Ian Lara's at the Stand. Petting Zoo at Cloud City. Made of Bugs with Tim Platt at Life World. Boys in the Woods are at Friends and Lovers. Alex Carabano and Edward Farrell at Brooklyn Comedy Club. Funny People also at Brooklyn Comedy Club. Ladies Who Ranch. The best improv you've ever seen is the subheader there. Brooklyn Comedy Collective. Onika McLean at the Tiny Cupboard. Charlie and the Darlings. Club Coming. Judy Gold is taping her podcast with Al Franken at the Midnight Theater. Shane Gillis at Town Hall. New York's Funniest Stand-Up at the Venue at the Hard Rock Hotel. London Hughes is at Union Hall. Comics to Watch is at the Stand. Are You Afraid of the Dark at New York Comedy Club? And Offend Everyone is at the Stand. So this festival's weird to me this year. There don't seem to be as many big shows as usual, and the littler shows are kind of obscure. I'm also not seeing much press about this just yet. Maybe as like the Mulaney's and the Conans roll through, we'll see more articles. But New York Comedy Festival, I don't know. You guys feeling it? I even feel like this segment is a dud and I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it. We got 2 more days. From the Laugh Button, a house in Baltimore was in the Halloween spirit and decided to decorate their house in tribute to Bob's Burgers. You know Bob's Burgers, the show that's supposedly been on for 15 years now. Now, let me ask you 2 questions. First question, have you ever seen Bob's Burgers? The answer, of course, is no. And the second question, have you ever met anyone who has seen Bob's Burgers? That answer is also no, which is weird because Fox keeps pretending this thing is on. Now, clearly there's Bob's Burgers merch. We've seen the t-shirts. I get it. Clearly they promote the show. I've seen the promos during the football game, but they all know we go watch the other football game. I don't think Fox even programs on Sunday night. I think there's a test pattern on after the national anthem. Have you ever seen Bob's Burgers? You haven't. Anyway, a house in Baltimore was decorated as Bob's Burgers. And the Laugh Button writes, for those that know the show's introduction, it shows the Belcher family standing outside of the burger restaurant as it experiences a series of opens and closes due to issues ranging from fire, pest infestation, or other disasters. Each time a new banner pops back up from grand opening, reopening, reopening, and so on. The residents of the house decorated accordingly. A neighbor complained about it. Yeah, there's a police report and everything. Oh, good job, Karen. You'll find the police report on the Laugh Button. Eric Andre is going to host ABC's The Prank Panel. Everyday people will pitch pranks to Eric Andre, Johnny Knoxville, and some other judges, and the judges are going to help the contestants pull off the most epic pranks ever. This sounds like low-budget network filler. This next story, not funny at all. I'm not making fun of it. Let me change my tone here. From Chortle, 2 Nigerian comedians have been sentenced to 20 public lashes. I'm reading the story to you in the 21st century. 2 Nigerian comedians have been sentenced to 20 public lashes after defaming a state governor on TikTok. The comics were also ordered to spend 30 days cleaning the toilets of the magistrate's court. I'm reading this story to you in the 21st century. According to local press reports, they mocked the state governor in skits, accusing him of land grabbing, corruption, and dozing off in public. For that, they have been sentenced to 20 public lashes. I'm reading this to you in the 21st century in order to spend 30 days cleaning the dude's toilets. Let's not end on that note. Let's head on over to Chicago Eater. A basement bar Watershed has a bar menu based on Community. Drinks are based off specific episodes, such as the one based on the episode Remedial Chaos Theory. It's served with pepperoni combos, tomato, vinegar, bitter port wine, and some other stuff. The drink is a reference onto how the show's characters rolled dice to figure out who was going to go get the pizza. Hilarity ensues. Be careful you don't set off the darkest timeline. And that's your comedy news for today. Normal episodes all week. And if you're a premium subscriber, you'll get the episodes early and commercial free. $5 a month on Apple, and the first month's free if you just want to try it out. Take it for a test drive. What do you have to lose? So Apple gets your email address. What are you going to do? They probably have it anyway. $5 a month, ad-free, and early releases. You can always follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. There's an audio-only version on YouTube. Meet you back here tomorrow.